Welcome to this episode of Nursing Edge Unscripted Saga, where we journey through the history of nursing education using stories that connect the past to the present and then our future as we reimagine our teaching, learning, and scholarship. It is often said that the past teaches us about the present. To study history is to study change. This year, Saga gives voice to nursing through the words of our early nurse leaders who organized a discipline and carved out systems to formalize the education of nurses throughout the United States. In their own words, illuminates the visionary work of NLN pathfinders who questioned traditional curriculum paradigms and in the process co-created standards for nursing education to build the discipline of nursing. Welcome to part 2 of the evolution of nursing research. In part 1, we explored the national conversations to attain uniformity in the work of nurses across the country and to standardize the process of education. In part 2, we'll explore the research foci in nursing. So let's begin. As you recall, committees evolved to accomplish the work of the NLNE, otherwise known as the National League for Nursing Education. There was much mutuality across committees in topics surrounding research and accreditation. During the 37th annual meeting in 1929, Mary M. Roberts, chair of the NLNE Functions Committee, acknowledged that accreditation and research go hand in hand, and those committees be set up in connection with the new research department of the League. During the 1930s, the national conversation in nursing focused on the growing debate around the separation of nursing and medicine as distinct disciplines and the growing need to identify a body of nursing knowledge. In the 38th annual proceedings in 1930, a report was generated by Dr. Edith Bryan, an assistant professor at the University of California, Berkeley, who was appointed by the League to report on methods of research and studies. Dr. Bryan noted that an ever-present theme in her research work was nursing's understanding of the peer sciences and how those peer sciences impacted the nursing profession. Dr. Bryan was advocating for nursing to set up tracks of inquiry into the discipline of nursing. Nurse scientists of the peer science, as well as nurse scientists who studied the application of pure science to the work of the nurse. Quote, "Our profession has shown its right to claim a place for its work in the realms of pure science, in applied science, and in the social sciences. The complexity of nursing service demands that we make ourselves familiar with many related sciences. If we develop a constructively critical attitude toward the methods of research set up in our profession, and at the same time, an understanding tolerance toward the attitude of the worker, we shall go far toward finding ourselves a place among the recognized scientists and of proclaiming our work a science." End quote. Continued advocacy for nursing research was the key to drive this conversation and set a solid direction for nursing as a discipline moving forward over the next 10 years and many years to follow. During the 56th proceeding in 1950, in an ongoing conversation, Dr. Genevieve Bixler, a consultant in research at Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing, Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio at that time, was invited to speak on ways in which research in nursing can assist in the clarification of issues before the profession. She asked the assembly, quote, If the nursing profession is equal to the task of identifying the direction in which it wants to go in the next 10 years, how can the university schools help with this? End quote. Catherine Densford, dean at the University of Minnesota, responded, quote, I believe nurses, perhaps more than any other group, are trained for research. I would like to be among those to support the point of view that the profession itself should provide money for the development of research in nursing, end quote. The following year, a new nursing research publication was announced, Nursing Research. It would be launched in 1952 under the auspices of the Association of Collegiate Schools of Nursing and the American Journal of Nursing Company. The journal would contain, quote, abstracts of research conducted throughout the country in nursing and nursing education, provide periodic reports on research in progress, articles on methods of conducting research, and editorial comments, letters to the editor, and similar material of interest to readers, end quote. While federal involvement in nursing research can be traced back to 1946, with the establishment of the Division of Nursing within the Office of the Surgeon General, Public Health Service, it wasn't until 1955 when the first extramural nursing research program was established in the Research Grants and Fellowship branch of the Division of Nursing Resources, Bureau of Medical Services. At this time, the National Institutes of Health established the Nursing Research Study section within the Division of Research Grants to conduct scientific review of the growing volume of applications in this area. In 1960, the Division of Nursing within the Office of the Surgeon General in Public Health Service consolidated into what we today know as HRSA, HRSA, or the Health Resources and Services Administration. This agency is responsible for clinical training in the healthcare professions with the continued goal of federal support to build a foundation for nursing research. In the 60s, many academic institutions established predoctoral and postdoctoral fellowship programs to train independent nurse investigators. Nursing research programs were also funded, and research information was exchanged across the country. It was in 1983 and 1984 when two federal studies became the impetus for a National Center for Nursing Research, citing that nursing research be included in the mainstream of biomedical and behavioral science, and nursing research activities were relevant to the NIH mission. Legislative action established the National Center for Nursing Research, NCNR, at NIH in April of 1986. Then the National Institutes of Health Revitalization Act of 1993 formally changed the National Center for Nursing Research to what we today know as the National Institute of Nursing Research, or NINR. The value of nursing research continues to provide new evidence on the importance and efficacy of the discipline of nursing practices, contribution to health and wellness, and the evolving science of learning in nursing education. So much was accomplished by our early visionaries, from formalized training of nurses and nurse educators and carving pathways for recognized study and research. And nursing continues to evolve yet today. And so the saga continues, and may our saga continue as we bring to a close this episode of Nursing Edge Unscripted Saga. Thank you for joining us. And remember, good teaching doesn't just happen. Find your fit, push the boundaries, and celebrate the ahas.